Coming up on this episode of Freedom from Fire, we'll learn how to stay safe this winter when you're at home and out on the road. In this interview segment, we'll hear how correctional facilities prevent and prepare for emergencies, and we'll talk to a group who is doing great work serving our younger citizens at St. Christopher's Hospital. There's that plus a lot more, so stay tuned to Freedom from Fire. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Freedom from Fire. I'm your host, Fire Commissioner Derek Sawyer. Here at Freedom from Fire, we aim to improve your quality of life by giving you fire and life safety information. We also introduce you to our local safety partners. On today's episode, we're going to learn about the challenges of fire and life safety in correctional facilities. Joining us to discuss this is Sergeant Thomas Picciarello from the Emergency Management Unit of the Philadelphia Prison System. Later in the show, we'll also talk to Jamelia Foster, Program Director of St. Christopher's Foundation for Children. We'll learn how she and her group supports the health and well-being of children served by St. Christopher's Hospital. She'll discuss their programs in care, outreach, research, and education. But before we get to those guests, I want to talk about winter fire safety. Home fires occur more in the winter months than any other time of the year. Here are some safety tips on how to heat your home safely. Keep everything or anything that can burn at least 3 feet from all heat sources, including fireplaces, wood stoves, radiators, space heaters, or candles. Never use an oven to heat your home. Maintain heating equipment and chimneys by having them cleaned and inspected annually. And you want to get them inspected annually by a qualified professional. If you use space heaters, make sure space heaters have enough room and have an automatic shut-off. So if it tips over, it shuts off automatically. Plug portable heaters directly into outlets and never into extension cords or power strips. Turn space heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Only use portable heaters from a recognized testing laboratory. Avoid using electrical space heaters in bathrooms or other areas where they may come in contact with water. When it comes to using wood stoves or fireplaces, you should keep glass or metal screen in front of them to prevent embers or sparks from jumping out. Do not burn paper in your fireplace. Put the fire out before you go to bed and leave your home. Keep flammable materials away from your fireplace mantle. A spark could come from the fireplace and easily ignite these materials. Do not use flammable liquids to start or accelerate any fire. They can cause the fire to quickly grow out of control. Wood stoves should be of good quality, solid construction and design, and should be laboratory tested. Wood stoves should be burned hot twice a day for about 15 to 30 minutes to reduce the amount of creosote buildup. As I always stress, you should make sure that every level of your home has a working 10-year lithium battery powered smoke alarm. And remember to practice and plan your home escape plan. Now, as we tape this show, Thanksgiving Day is just a few days away. Did you know that Thanksgiving is the peak day for home cooking fires? Thanksgiving Day fires in residential buildings occur most frequently from noon to 3 p.m. when many people are most likely preparing their Thanksgiving dinner. If you're thinking about deep frying a turkey for this Thanksgiving holiday, there are a few dangers that you should know about. Turkey fires can easily tip over, spilling hot cooking oil over a large area. An overfilled cooking pot will cause cooking oil to spill when the turkey is put in, and a partially frozen turkey will cause oil to splatter when put in the hot oil. Even a small amount of cooking oil spilling on a hot burner can cause a large fire. Without a thermostat control, deep fryers can overheat oil to the point of starting a fire. The sides of the cooking pot, lid, and pot handles can become dangerously hot. We want you to stay safe as the weather gets colder and the holiday season gets near. Please remember this safety information when warming your home and preparing your holiday meals, of course. The holidays also mean that many of us will take to the road to visit our family and friends. Our LaSalle reporters asked people on the university campus what they knew about the dangers of impaired driving. Let's take a look, and you can test what you know as well.
Hi, I'm Brian from Freedom from Fire, and today we're going to find out how much people know about impaired driving.
How much do you have to drink, or how high is your blood alcohol level have to be to get a DUI in Pennsylvania?
0.5. I think it's like 0.08, something like that.
Yeah, if your minor isn't at like 0.02.
0.06.
You're actually both right. If you're under 21, it's 0.02, and if you're over 21, it's 0.08.
True or false? If you look down at your phone for 4.6 seconds and you're going 55 miles per hour, you traveled 180 feet. Is that true or false?
True? False.
Yes.
I'm going to say that's true.
True.
False.
Well, you are right. You traveled 360 feet, which is a length of a football field. I know, crazy. Insane. How long on average does a person take their eyes off the road to look at their phone?
A minute?
Like 2 minutes.
I would say about every minute or so.
I would say 15 seconds.
It's actually 23 seconds, which is like a really long time. Like my attention span is like 5 seconds.
When a teen is driving, how many passengers in the car will triple the risk of an accident?
3.
Oh, I know this. 4.
Okay.
Wait, is the triple the risk?
Yes.
2.
1.
It's actually 2 or more,
Oh, okay.
which isn't that many.
In 2012, of teenagers who died in automobile accidents, how many were not wearing their seatbelt?
I would say like all of them. 85.
I would say about 75.
I'd say about 35%.
It's actually 55%. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
This is a lot.
And lastly, how do you think marijuana affects your driving, and what do you think the effects are?
I think it makes you kind of sleepy and you lose focus.
Yeah, I think it shortens your concentration span and you aren't able to focus as much.
I don't know.
There, and that just dilutes your judgment. And so you can't, when you're driving, you need to have peripheral vision. You need to be completely focused at that. And if you don't have complete judgment, that just like fuels your risk to be in a car accident.
Well, doesn't marijuana kind of slow your judgment, and at the same time it makes your reaction time a hell of a lot slower?
Yeah, it definitely does slow your reaction time. It also impairs your judgment of time and distance and decreases your motor coordination. So do you feel you've learned a lot?
Actually, yeah.
Well, thank you, and I'm Brian from Freedom from Fire.
Thanks for that information. We're going to switch gears now and examine what fire safety looks like in an entirely different venue. Now joining us to discuss fire and life safety in correctional facilities is Sergeant Thomas Picciarello from the Emergency Management Unit of the Philadelphia Prison System. How you making out, Tom?
Good, Commissioner. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your career.
I have 15 years within the prison system. I started in 2001, early 2001. I worked inside the Philadelphia Industrial Correctional Center, the Detention Center, and also the House of Correction. I was promoted to sergeant in 2006. I was chosen to be a supervisor in the unit, and I also graduated from the Philadelphia Fire Academy in class 175 in 2003. the almighty 175. So it's been a good career. Treats me good.
Well, Class 158 was the best. The great 158. So tell us, why is it important, why is fire safety important in the prison system?
It's important because you're dealing with mass amounts of people between the correctional staff, the administrative staff, and also the inmates. And as you know, as in a regular business, an office building, something like that, there's a fire, something that takes place inside, everybody's coming out.
Right.
And what we're dealing with is trying to extinguish the fire on the inside and remove the inmates to a safe area, because obviously we can't take them outside.
Right.
Yeah.
So it has to be a little challenging. So what are some of the challenges?
Some of the challenges to it is one, removing the inmates from the area very quickly, which we have very much success in doing. But along with that, when we have a fire inside a facility, our correctional staff is our first line of defense.
Right.
We have fire extinguishers inside the facilities. We have SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, inside. So our first line of defense is our correctional staff, and when we call 911, as we're making the facility safe for the fire department to come in, we have to lock down the entire facility or the areas that they're traveling through, so your firefighters are safe coming inside our facility.
Great. So in the fire service, we train a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What type of training do you have at your facility to help you guys stay sharp?
Well, what we do, the members of the emergency management unit, we're privileged enough to go through and be trained by the Philadelphia Fire Academy, the fire department. So we go through the full training there, the EMT course and the full firefighting class. And then what we do is we also teach the correctional staff in our academy, the cadets, and also in service, we give them an 8-hour fire safety course. We give them the background on fire, the classes of fire. We go over fire extinguishers with them and how to extinguish the fire. And actually, about 2 years ago, we started implementing the incident command system into it. Yeah, and then every day, not every day, but inside our facilities we conduct training, and there's fire drills on an ongoing basis. So along with our new cadets, our seasoned staff also keeps up on the training.
Great. So in your emergency management unit, I think there's probably some other things you do. So what are some of the other things that your unit is responsible for?
Well, our primary responsibility is safety. What we do is we inspect our facilities on a monthly basis. Every facility, we have 6 facilities on State Road. We have some satellites also, and our computer department, transportation department, stuff like that, other buildings that we inspect. So every month we do an inspection on the buildings, fire and life safety, fire extinguishers, emergency lighting, so on and so forth. And we're also EMTs, so we do respond to the emergencies on campus. We work very closely with Office of Emergency Management and Risk Management, right. And we work very closely with the fire department, the training academy, Deputy Chief Bannon, Battalion Chief Touchstone. So
you're EMTs also?
Yeah, we're EMTs. We're EMTs.
So what did you think about this implementing the ICS system into your process?
I think the ICS system was a great implementation. I think it works great along with the fire department and the police department. Everybody is using the same language.
Right, so it makes it easy to integrate, right?
It makes it very easy to integrate, and especially with the unified command, the prisons and fire and police can all be on the same page.
Right. So when you have to move inmates, I know you can't take them outside the prison. Mm-hmm. How challenging is that to make sure you get them into a safe haven? Because you still have to prepare for their safety, right?
Yeah, what we do is, being that the inmates just cannot walk freely throughout the jail during an emergency, the inmates are escorted everywhere they need to, or during an emergency they're escorted where they need to go during correctional staff. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but it gets done. I mean, we've had success with it.
Great. Well, obviously, you haven't lost anybody, right?
Yeah, yes.
So what's your fondest memory of being at the fire academy?
My fondest memory of being in the fire academy was coming in every morning at 7:30, and our PT instructor, who's Deputy Chief Bannon, was a captain then, and he already had an hour of PT already in before we started.
Waiting for you.
Waiting for it, and 5-6 mile run every day. And actually the EMT training and the firefighter training, rappelling was my favorite.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, joining us, and thanks for
Commissioner.
sharing that valuable information.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
All right. We need to take a quick break right now. When we return, I'll be joined by St. Christopher's Foundation for Children. Don't miss it. We'll return shortly with more Freedom from Fire.
The United States Air Force has a proud history of leading our nation in embracing diversity. We've been reaching new heights for years by understanding it's our individual experiences which make us strong. You can share in this success by seeking opportunities to learn and grow as a member of a diverse team. We are the world's greatest Air Force, not because of what we do, but who we are. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
My name is Carly. I'm 15 years old and I am a heart recipient. I got my first heart transplant when I was 1.5 years old. I got my second heart when I was 13. When I get my driver's license, of course I'm going to say yes to be an organ donor. I've been saved twice, so who says I can't save somebody else?
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Welcome back to Freedom from Fire. I'm your host, Fire Commissioner Derek Sawyer. In December of 2014, Lieutenant Joyce Craig died while fighting a fire in West Oak Lane. Recently, the Philadelphia Fire Department dedicated a plaque in her honor outside of her station, Engine 64. Producer Mike Brown was there to cover the event for us.
On the morning of December 9, 2014, firefighter Joyce Craig made the ultimate sacrifice while fighting an early morning blaze, becoming the first female firefighter to die in the line of duty in the Philadelphia Fire Department. This past week, her sacrifice was memorialized by her friends, family, and members of the Philadelphia Fire Department with a mural, tree planting, and plaque dedication that took place at her old station house. Remembered by those who knew her as a firefighter's firefighter, Union President Joe Schul had this to say about Lieutenant Craig.
Our profession is not a task that one undertakes lightly. Being a firefighter isn't just a job, it is a calling. It is a calling that Joyce had her whole life. It is a reason she worked hard and strived to become the best.
Lieutenant Craig's memorial was unveiled by her family and stands outside the station of Engine 64, the company she called home for the past 2 years. Surrounded by city leaders, members of her station, and others from around the city, Lieutenant Craig's memorial serves as a monument to her dedication as a firefighter and a reminder of her ultimate sacrifice to the city of Philadelphia. For Freedom from Fire, I'm Mike Brown.
Thanks for sharing that footage with us, Mike. I would now like to highlight an organization that does an exceptional job in serving the needs of our citizens. Now joining us is Jamelia Foster, Program Director of St. Christopher's Foundation for Children. Welcome to Freedom of Fire.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So how are you?
I'm great. Thanks.
Good, good.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your role at the St. Christopher's Foundation for Children.
I am Program Director at the Foundation. I haven't been there too long. Been there about a year and a half. Okay. Yeah. And I am in charge of the creation and management of all of our programs.
So what kind of services and initiatives does St. Christopher's Foundation for Children have?
It's a long name, right?
Yes, it is.
Right now, our main programs are, we have a community oral health initiative program, and we have a Farm to Families program. Our community oral health initiative gives free dental care to underserved or unserved children, some of whom have never seen a dentist before. Right. So it's an amazing program. We get permissions from parents in the beginning of the school year, and then we have a dental van that actually goes into the classrooms pulls the kids out of school, takes care of their teeth, and then puts them back in the classroom. So we're trying to cut down the barrier, number one, of price, because it's free, and number two, transportation issues and time, which is a huge, barrier that people a lot of times don't think about, but time means a lot to some of these families. So we try to, make it as harmless as harmless as possible and as easy as possible for everyone involved.
That's great. And from my understanding, good dental care helps them with their grades also.
Great dental care helps with everything. Just last year, 26,000 children were admitted to emergency rooms just because of issues with their mouth. Issues with your mouth will affect your concentration, which means you can't concentrate in school. It affects what you can eat, so you can't eat some of the healthier foods that you should be eating. Apples are hard. Some crunchy vegetables are really hard, but they're really good for you, but you can't eat them if your mouth hurts. So it affects people on many levels, and it affects employment.
So speaking of healthy foods, let's talk about Farm to Families.
We have a Farm to Families program, and what we do is we bring fresh fruits and vegetables to families in North Philadelphia who otherwise would not have access to these types of foods. We partner with Lancaster Farm Fresh. So the great thing is our food is plucked out of the ground and in the hands of our client in less than 48 hours.
Wow.
So it's amazing, fresh, mostly organic food. We really believe that food is medicine, and we're trying to package it, and give it to people as such.
So how is the outreach conducted to the members in the community?
Well, the foundation is really small.
Right.
We do a lot, but it's a very small organization. So what we do is leverage organizations that are in North Philadelphia that kind of already have a relationship with the people and have their trust and have the know-how to implement the programs. So what we do is create and develop and fund the programs, but then we find organizations within the community that can actually implement and carry them out.
So tell us how this foundation came about. Give us a little backstory on the foundation.
Well, I was only here a year and a half, so I don't.
Not the whole story.
I can tell you, from what I've heard. I wasn't here, but in 1998, St. Christopher's Foundation, St. Christopher's Hospital was purchased by a for-profit organization, and when a for-profit purchases a nonprofit, a foundation is usually the result of that, because they don't want to intermingle funds.
Right.
So we were a result of tenant buying the hospital.
Got you. So how is that foundation funded now?
Now we do a lot of fundraising. We write grants. We have corporate sponsors. We ask individuals for donations. We have annual galas. We do anything we can to get the dollars rolling in so we can help the people who need it the most.
So what's on tap for the future? I know that we have some new projects,
we have exciting things happening. One of the things we're trying to start up is a healing garden in North Philadelphia. It's in the very beginning stages, but a program that we will be unveiling in February with your help and the fire department's help, thank you, is our Scald Free Philly program. A lot of people don't realize that scalds are really, really dangerous and the number one injury for children under the age of 5.
Wow.
So we just want to spread that type of information and awareness.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
So this is the first time I heard about the healing garden.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
It's very new. We're just right now looking at land and trying to understand everything that goes into it. But there have been studies done that show that children who grow up in high and stressful areas, high crime, high poverty, feel less of the stress when they live near green spaces.
Great.
So nature has a way of de-stressing us, and we want to try to bring that to some kids who are really, really experiencing a lot of stress.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
But before you leave, like I do with all my guests, I need you to take the fire safety pledge with me.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
All right, let's put them hands up.
Okay.
I love my family, and I'm responsible for their safety. Therefore, I pledge the following. I pledge to have at least one working smoke alarm on each level of my home. I pledge to test my alarms as recommended and replace my alarms with new lithium battery-powered alarms when needed. I pledge that every family member will sleep with their bedroom door closed. I pledge to develop and practice a home escape plan. I practice that if I cannot afford smoke alarms, I will call the non-emergency number 311 or visit www.phila.gov/311. All of this I do solemnly pledge. I urge all of you at home to take the fire safety pledge along with your family. If you haven't already done so, go to freedomfromfire.com and review our fire safety checklist and prepare a home escape plan. So, upcoming events on Tuesday, November the 24th, we have holiday cooking with the commissioner. This event will take place at Engine 50, located at Park Avenue and Cambridge Street. I will demonstrate and discuss the importance of cooking safely during the holidays, especially Thanksgiving. On Saturday, December 5th, there is a No More Fire Deaths program. This is a monthly program where we target high-risk areas throughout the city and install smoke alarms and provide fire and life safety education. This program will take place in the Frankfurt section of the city, the 1900 blocks of Pratt and Glenlock, the 2000 blocks of Granite and Dittman, and the 5100 block of Bridge Street. Remember, if you would like to find out more about LaSalle TV, you can check out our social media sites. And if you are interested in learning about the Philadelphia Fire Department, visit our Facebook, Twitter, and web pages. I would like to once again thank Sergeant Thomas Picciarello and Jamelia Foster for joining us today. I also would like to thank you for tuning in and watching. So until next time, remember, fire is everyone's fight. Stay safe and remain free from fire.